If you have ever researched Thailand, you have certainly come across paradise-like images, white sand beaches, crystal clear waters, and breathtaking sunsets. But what if I told you that not everything you see in the photos accurately reflects what you find when you get there? Today, I want to take you with me on a walk along Beach Road, one of the most famous avenues in the country, and share not only the beauties but also the behind-the-scenes aspects that few people talk about. My experience started with high expectations. I had already seen various videos and read accounts about Beach Road, and the idea of walking along this seaside avenue seemed like the perfect opportunity to understand the essence of tourist Thailand. However, like any great trip, reality always brings surprises. Some good, others not so much. Beach Road, located in Pattaya, is one of the most iconic avenues in Southeast Asia. During the day, it is a meeting point for tourists from all corners of the world. At night, the atmosphere changes completely, revealing a more intense and frenetic side. But before I talk about that, I want to tell you what I felt as soon as I set foot there for the first time. The first impact was visual. Palm trees lined along the boardwalk, the blue of the sea contrasting with the vibrant hues of the neon signs announcing bars, restaurants, and hotels. The smell of street food filled the air, mixed with the light aroma of the sea breeze. Sounds of live music and voices in different languages blended into a constant buzz, giving the feeling that this was a place that never slept. This avenue is much more than a simple seaside boardwalk. It carries stories, encounters, and contrasts that reflect not only tourism in Thailand, but also the impact it has on the lives of local residents. It's easy to get carried away by the beauty of the landscape and the laid-back vibe, but it's also impossible to ignore some details that show that Beach Road has many layers to be discovered. My idea with this walk was simple: observe, absorb, and understand what makes this place so famous. I didn't want to just visit the traditional tourist spots, but also notice the details that often go unnoticed. And that's exactly what I did. Throughout this video, I will share with you everything I saw, from the most delightful experiences to the aspects that no one tells you about. Let's explore together the contrasts of this avenue, passing through the tourist side, the little discussed behind the scenes, and the surprises that make Beach Road a unique experience. So, if you've ever wondered what it's really like to walk through this iconic place, stay with me until the end, because I will tell you everything, without filters and without exaggerations. Now let's start this journey. As soon as I began my walk along Beach Road, I felt as if I were entering a separate universe. During the day, the sunlight made everything seem even more vibrant. The reflection of the sea gave the landscape that mesmerizing blue tone, while the warm wind brought the smell of the ocean mixed with the exotic aromas of the food stalls scattered along the boardwalk. The first thing that caught my attention was the incessant movement. People of different nationalities passed by me, some walking leisurely, others stopping to take photos, and many of them seeming completely immersed in the energy of the place. Here, tourism sets the pace of life, and it becomes clear that Beach Road is not just a street, it's a stage where each person plays a role. Along the avenue, contrasts begin to emerge. On one side, the sea, with its calm waves and traditional boats floating in the water. On the other, an endless sequence of shops, bars, and restaurants, each vying for the attention of tourists. Neon signs flashed everywhere and billboards in English Thai, and even Russian indicated the presence of visitors from all over the world. Even though it is a tourist spot, Beach Road has a very different atmosphere from other seaside avenues I have visited. It's not just a place to relax and enjoy the scenery, it's a vibrant center of activities and interactions. You can simply walk aimlessly or be drawn in by the energy of the place, where something new seems to happen at every corner. The atmosphere on Beach Road also changes depending on the time of day. In the morning, the environment is more tranquil. You can see locals starting their day, cyclists enjoying the boardwalk, and a few tourists exploring the area. But as the day goes on, the movement increases. The strong sun makes many people seek shelter in bars and cafes, while others take the opportunity to hit the beach and relax under colorful umbrellas. One thing that caught my attention was the street vendors. Along the walk, I saw various sellers offering everything from cold drinks and tropical fruits to sunglasses, souvenirs, and outdoor massages. The interesting thing is that many of these vendors can already identify who is a tourist and try to approach them by offering discounts or even striking up a conversation to engage the customer. For those who are not used to it, it might seem a bit pushy, but it's part of the local dynamic. Another thing I noticed was the number of motorcycles and tuk-tuks circulating on the street parallel to the boardwalk. The traffic there is chaotic, and crossing the street requires attention, as drivers and motorcyclists don't usually stop easily. This is one of those details that rarely appear in promotional videos about Thailand, but it is part of the real experience. And of course, one of the major highlights of Beach Road is the diversity of people. You see families strolling, couples taking selfies, backpackers exploring every corner, and groups of friends having fun in the bars. But there are also a considerable number of expatriates and foreign residents who have lived there for years and seem to have fully integrated into the routine of the avenue. This mix of cultures creates a unique energy, where each person passing by has a different story. In just a few minutes, I heard languages like English, German, French, Russian, and even a few words in Portuguese. Thailand, and especially Pattaya, has become a popular destination for travelers from all over the world, and Beach Road reflects this globalization. But as fascinating as the initial scene was, I knew that this avenue held much more than just a beautiful view. What intrigued me was what lay beyond the obvious, the behind-the-scenes aspects that are not always shown, and that was exactly what I began to observe more closely. My walk was just beginning, and I soon realized that behind the glow of the lights and the constant movement, there were aspects that no one usually talks about. As I continued my walk along Beach Road, I began to notice how tourism truly shapes the experience of this place. The avenue seems designed to entertain and impress visitors, and everything there is intended to capture tourists' attention, from the bright signs to the eye-catching vendors. But for those just passing through, it is easy to be charmed by the prettier parts and ignore the less glamorous details. The first major highlight is undoubtedly the beach. It runs alongside almost the entire length of Beach Road, separated from the boardwalk by a row of palm trees and some benches where people stop to rest. The light sand and the view of the blue sea create that typical tropical landscape that attracts millions of visitors every year. But upon closer observation, I realized that the beach was not as pristine as it appears in promotional photos. In some areas, especially near the busier stretches, there was litter accumulating on the sand, left both by tourists and by the wind carrying debris from the city. Still, many people enjoyed the location to swim, sunbathe, or simply relax under the shade of the umbrellas rented from local vendors. Another defining element of Beach Road is the culinary variety. Restaurants and street food stalls compete for the attention of visitors, offering everything from traditional Thai dishes to more Western options. It is impossible to walk without smelling grilled skewers, fresh seafood, and freshly prepared noodles. For the more adventurous tourists, there are also stalls selling exotic delicacies, like fried insects and scorpions on a stick, something that many try more out of curiosity than for the taste. Besides the food, another big attraction of the avenue is the markets and fairs that pop up at various points throughout the day. Small stands sell clothes, accessories, souvenirs, and even electronics, almost always accompanied by negotiations between vendors and customers. Here, haggling is part of the culture, and it is almost expected that you try to get a discount before finalizing any purchase. Many tourists, especially those visiting Thailand for the first time, end up paying higher prices than they should simply because they are unaware of this. But the entertainment does not stop at the shops and restaurants. Along the avenue, street performers put on shows to attract tourists' attention. I saw everything from musicians playing traditional instruments to dancers and painters creating live artworks. Some of these artists are truly talented, and it is easy to lose yourself for a few minutes just watching their performances. And of course, I cannot forget to mention one of the biggest symbols of Beach Road, the bars and nightclubs. During the day, many of these establishments seem discreet, serving drinks and snacks to customers who want to rest from their walk. But at night, the scene changes completely. Neon lights illuminate the facades, loud music starts playing, and promoters circulate the sidewalk inviting tourists to come in. The truth is that Beach Road transforms as the sun sets. What once seemed like a quiet boardwalk full of tourist spots becomes one of the epicenters of Pattaya's nightlife. Many tourists come here precisely for that, to experience this change of pace and dive into the fun without a closing time. But there is a side to this experience that not everyone notices at first glance and that few openly talk about. I knew I was about to see a completely different facet of Beach Road. And what I discovered behind the scenes of this place changed my view on this famous avenue. While during the day Beach Road seems like an ordinary tourist boardwalk, at night, the atmosphere transforms completely. The setting shifts from a sunny avenue to a place filled with neon lights, crowded bars, and an incessant flow of people coming and going. But what really happens behind the scenes of this avenue? What do most tourists not notice or prefer to ignore? As I walked along the busiest section of Beach Road at dusk, I began to notice some details that set this place apart from any other seaside avenue I had ever visited. The first point is the number of street vendors that doubles, offering everything, from souvenirs to services that go far beyond a simple tourist walk. They approach without ceremony, grabbing tourists by the arm, trying to convince them to enter bars or buy some special service. Another thing impossible to ignore is the pricing. During the day, prices are clearly aimed at tourists, but at night they spike even more. Restaurants and bars charge small fortunes for dishes and drinks that would normally cost much less in other parts of the city, not to mention the traps for unsuspecting visitors, like bars offering free drink promotions and then presenting outrageous bills at the end of the night. Many tourists fall for these traps, especially those who don't do research before heading out to explore. But perhaps the most striking aspect of Beach Road at night is the type of interaction that happens there. The avenue becomes a major meeting point for those seeking fun, and this includes a commerce often overlooked by tourist guides. Some streets parallel to Beach Road, such as the famous Walking Street, are known for their nightclubs and themed bars that attract curious visitors from all over the world. Many tourists come to Pattaya drawn by this reputation, without fully understanding how this universe works. Behind the scenes of Beach Road, there are stories that few tell. During my walk, I talked with some local residents who live off tourism and saw how this industry can be both lucrative and challenging. Many workers depend solely on the flow of foreigners to survive, and any fluctuation in the number of tourists directly affects their lives. But not everything is a problem. Beach Road also has an authentic side, with vendors who truly strive to offer good experiences to visitors. There are family-run restaurants serving typical dishes made with care, street vendors sharing genuine smiles, and artists performing not just for money, but because they truly love what they do. In the end, Beach Road is a reflection of Pattaya as a whole, a place of contrasts, where luxury and simplicity, beauty and chaos coexist side by side. And for those who really want to get to know this destination, it's necessary to look beyond the bright lights and see the reality that pulses behind them. My walk was not over yet, and I knew that the surprises were far from finished. But at that moment, one thing was already certain. Beach Road is one of those places that defy any expectation. After passing through the more well-known parts and the behind the scenes of Beach Road, I reached a moment in my walk when I began to realize that this place also holds small, unexpected surprises. Some experiences happen so spontaneously that you only understand their importance after they have passed. One of the most striking moments was when I stopped to observe a street artist painting pictures in real time. He used only his hands and some improvised spatulas to create vibrant scenes of Beach Road itself. The most interesting thing was that, even surrounded by tourists filming his work, he seemed oblivious to the noise and hustle around him. There was something almost hypnotic about the way he focused on what he was doing, and for a few minutes, all the chaos of the avenue seemed to disappear. Another surprise came in the form of an exotic dish. While strolling through one of the markets near Beach Road, I decided to try something I had never tasted before: crocodile skewers. The vendor assured me that the taste was similar to chicken, and to my surprise, he was not wrong. The Thai seasoning added a special touch, and it was one of those culinary experiences that stays in your memory. But what really marked me during this walk was an unexpected encounter. While I rested on one of the benches by the sea, a Thai gentleman struck up a conversation with me. His English was simple, but he made a point of telling me that he had lived there for over 40 years and had seen the transformation of Pattaya over the decades. He spoke with a mix of nostalgia and pride, recalling a time when the city was a small fishing village, very different from the tourist hub it has become. He explained to me that, despite the changes, Pattaya still held its essence for those who knew where to look. He talked about small temples hidden amid the city's hustle, about lesser-known beaches where locals still gather, and about life beyond Beach Road. His words made me realize that No matter how much the avenue symbolizes tourism in the region, it is just one part of a much more complex and culturally rich place. As the sun began to set, Beach Road took on a new appearance. The sky was tinged with orange and pink hues, reflecting on the calm sea. The late afternoon light softened the vibrant colors of the neon signs that began to light up, announcing the start of the night. The flow of tourists remained intense, but now there was a different air in the environment, a mix of expectation and nostalgia, as if the day were bidding farewell to make way for a completely new version of the city. This was the moment I realized that, despite the contrasts and the behind-the-scenes of Beach Road, it has something that few places can offer, a unique energy that is hard to explain. Each person who passes through there lives a different experience, and perhaps that's what makes this avenue so special. My walk was coming to an end, but the impression this place left on me would be marked forever. After walking the entire length of Beach Road, observing its details and living unforgettable moments, I came to an inevitable conclusion. This place is not for every traveler, but for those who know what to expect, it can be a fascinating experience. Beach Road is a reflection of Pattaya as a whole, full of contrasts, excesses, and surprises. During the day, it seems like a common seaside avenue, busy and vibrant, yet still with a certain air of tranquility. At night, it transforms completely, revealing a more chaotic and intense side that can be both captivating and disconcerting. If you're looking for a destination that offers paradise beaches and absolute tranquility, perhaps Pattaya is not the ideal place for you. But if what you want is a trip full of movement, culture, gastronomy, and a dive into diversity, Beach Road can be one of the most interesting places to explore in Thailand. Sure, there are positive and negative points. Among the positive aspects, I can highlight the variety of activities, the unique energy of the place, and the countless gastronomic and cultural options. Additionally, there is an authentic side to Beach Road, which can be seen in the small vendors, street artists, and even the locals who share their stories with those willing to listen. On the other hand, the negative points are also evident. The constant harassment from vendors can be exhausting. The inflated prices for tourists require attention, and the cleanliness of the beach doesn't always match the perfect images we see online. Furthermore, mass tourism has turned Pattaya into a destination almost exclusively geared toward foreigners, which can make the experience feel a bit artificial at times. But at the end of the day, the main question is it worth visiting Beach Road? My answer is yes, but with the right mindset. Go in knowing that you will find a dynamic, vibrant place full of stories. Enjoy the good things the destination has to offer, but be mindful of tourist traps. And if there's one thing I've learned on this journey, it's that behind the neon lights and the constant flow of visitors, there is still an authentic essence waiting to be discovered. Just look beyond the obvious. Now, I want to know, have you ever been to Thailand? Do you want to visit Beach Road? Or do you prefer another type of destination? Leave your comment below. I want to know your opinion.